What up, YouTube? My name is Joel, and this is Top Deck Scrubs. I'm here with you with a Fluffal deck profile with a little bit of good of my own spice. I've been trying to get an Eric for this deck profile. Shout outs to Mr. Burgos. He finally stopped ducking me. Thank you, Eric. We love you.
No.
Before we get into the deck profile, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know whenever we post anything, and let us know in the comments if you actually want us to see, like, you know, actual live matches or, you know, pack openings, anything else other than something else that we haven't posted. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into this.
All right, so you are playing
Fluffals with a little bit of spice, and we'll get to the spice later.
How many cards is this, by the way?
It's 45.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna go over as much of this as I can for those that don't know. So starters, 3 dog. This is your Stratos of the deck. When it's normal or special summon from the hand specifically, you add a Fluffal monster or Edge of Sabers from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect once per turn. Pretty basic. Then there's the Toy Vendor package. 2 Fluffal Bear, you discard this card to set Toy Vendor directly from your deck, and also has a field effect. Tribute this on the field to target a polymerization in your graveyard and add it back to hand. I've used it like once or twice. It doesn't really come up that often. There's other cards that we use to get poly. Also, part of the Toy Vendor is also Fluffal Wings. While you have Toy Vendor on the field, you target a Fluffal card in your graveyard. You have to banish this card first. Target a Fluffal card in your grave. Banish it. If you do, you draw one. Then you can send Toy Vendor to draw another. For those that don't know, Toy Vendor has a graveyard effect, which we will get into later on in this profile. And then the final Toy Vendor card is a Fluffal Dolphin. Target a Toy Vendor in grave, set it, and then you have to send a Fluffal or Edge of Sabers from your deck to the graveyard. It has a fusion effect as well. When it's used as fusion material, you can shuffle 1 fusion or polymerization back into your deck, and that does not target, so you can chain block really well with it. So that's a majority of the Toy Vendor package. For the rest of it is I run 2 Fluffal Penguin. I thought about running this at 3, but I've dead drawn at 3. This is a Goblinberg. If it's on the field, you can activate its effect to special summon a Fluffal monster from your hand. And then if it's used as fusion material, you can draw 2 and discard 1, but it has to be the fusion of a Frightfur fusion monster. My one-ofs, cat, owl, sheep, and octopus. This is used as fusion material. You target a poly in your graveyard and add it back to hand, so you can chain block with this amazingly. Owl, kind of our own little Verte Anaconda. You pay 500 to fusion summon a Frightfur fusion monster. And then these 2 I put off to the side specifically, more so because I did a little loop with both of these. So Sheep is an extender. If you control a Fluffal monster, you can special summon this from hand, which makes for good fusion material and also link plays. You can target another Fluffal monster, return it to your hand, and you special summon a Edge monster from your hand or graveyard. And you know, doing that with Edge of Chain works amazingly. And then this recycles the sheep. So target the sheep, add it back to hand. If this is used as fusion material, you target 2 of your banished cards and you put it back in your graveyard. So recycling Wings and any other Fluffal monster or anything that got banished, it targets any monster. So it comes in handy. That's the Fluffal package. Going into the Edge Imps, I personally do. I've seen people do 2. I've seen people do 1. I love this card way too much. This is a 3 of Edge Imp Scythe. Basically allows you to fusion summon on your opponent's turn. I play this deck because I like to play on my opponent's turn, and I like to cheese them. During your opponent's main phase specifically, you can use this card and another Fluffal monster in your hand or field to fusion summon 1 monster. And then it also has a Return of the Dragon Lord effect. If your Frightfur fusion monster would be destroyed, you can, or monsters were to be destroyed, but like say if they like Raigeki them and you have like more than 1, you can remove this 1 and it saves them.
It's like a Bailey.
Pretty much. Absolutely.
Nice.
I know I'm old. I'm showing my age. I said Return of the Dragon Lord. You said that. Or Branded Opening in this case. Also, quintessential. Most of y'all know this card now because everybody's using it in everything else except my deck. Edge Imp Chain. Edge Imp Chain. So the main effect that everybody knows is if this card is sent from hand or field to the graveyard, you add a Frightfur card from your deck to your hand, which, you know, everybody knows that effect now. But the other effect is if you declare an attack with this card, you get to add another Edge of Chain from your deck to your hand. And it's on attack declaration. The only thing is this is once per turn and only once per turn. Only once that turn effect. So you got to pick your effect. And then last Edge Amp card, Edge Sabers, oldest Edge that we have. There's other ones. Those are the 3 that I run and that actually matter. Has a decent effect that you can use in tandem with Toy Vendor, which we'll get into. But while this is in graveyard, you can put one card on the top of your deck to special summon this card from your graveyard, and that's cost, so that actually does kind of help. Extra spice. I was doing this. I was doing this before DPE came out. Y'all know this bitch. Y'all hate him. I love him dearly. Artifact Scythe. Y'all know what he does. Hand traps. 2 Ash Blossom. Self-explanatory. And then finally, 2 of the Golden Lord. This bitch and condemned him with what is it? Any of my spells, preferably Toy Vendor or what is it? Frightfur. Which Frightfur card was it? I have lost my mind. Frightfur Repair, because you know both of those spell cards have grave effects that people need to actually kind of take full advantage of, and also this card helps break boards since y'all know what it does from hand and also from graveyard. Helps the plus. That's it for the monsters and all the spice. To the spells and the traps. 3 Toy Vendor. This is your main hand advantage. I mean, this is your main advantage. Its field effect is discard 1 card. You can draw a reveal if it was a Fluffal monster that was revealed, special summon it. Otherwise, you discard the card that you drew. And then whenever this card hits the graveyard, you add a Fluffal or Edge Sabers from your deck to hand. So free reign, no matter what. I personally run 3 Polymerization, 2 Legend of Blue Eyes. Don't judge me. I needed the original art, but yeah.
Poly's Poly.
Exactly. 3 Frightfur Patchwork. I swear to God, to every single person that's playing Branded or anything else that wants to abuse this, I will find all of you and I will hunt y'all down if y'all get this card banned. It's personal and it's on site. 1 Frightfur Fusion. I had this at 2. Cut it to 1 because I ended up learning to kind of use this for like OTK or just emergency purposes, plus I can recycle this. Frightfur Repair has 2 effects. The main effect that I even really care about is the graveyard effect, where you banish this card and you special summon a Fluffal or an Edge from your hand, and you can only use 1 effect once per turn and once that turn. But its other effect is you can target a Frightfur card in your graveyard, return it to your deck, and then special summon an Edge or Fluffal monster from your graveyard. So it's essentially a reborn, an indirect reborn, but still. I run 2, had this at 3, 2 Foolish Barrel of Goods. 3 was a dead draw, and I hated seeing it, so I was just like, F it. 1 Called By, self-explanatory. And for the traps, I know I get a lot of hate for this. What I don't get hate for is this. Everybody, knows what Imperm does. And then I have a personal love for this card. Everybody that knows me remembers when I was running this during Blackwing format, Dimensional Barrier. I don't care what anybody says, this is a format to where extra deck is extra deck, Pendulums made their comeback, Fusions are still on the rise, I still see Synchros being played. I love this card. Oh, and what is it? F Rituals. I'll get to the extra deck. Token. I personally run 3 Cruel Whale. This is a card because I run 3 Scythe, and this is a card that I definitely want. Has a Return of the Dragon Lord effect, or a non-targeting Scrap Dragon effect. Destroy 1 card on both play sides of the field, and then also boost the attack of any Frightfur fusion monster on field by half of the targeted monster's original attack. So the first destruction effect does not target, but the boost effect does.
Okay.
1 Kraken. I wanted to bump this to 2, but 1 ended up being enough. Can attack twice. Can target 1 card on the field and send it to the graveyard. So spot removal, non-destruction. But unfortunately, cannot attack directly the turn you activate this card. And then when it does attack, you can switch it to defense. I personally run 2 of this card. Frightfur Sabertooth. 1 for the I'm sorry, one thing I forgot to mention is you can send a Frightfur card from deck or extra deck, and that's part of the reason why I run 2 of this. If you use 2 or more material to fusion summon this, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, so it's a mainstay. And yeah, I needed 2 just in case. Y'all know El Tigre and y'all know the Wolf. Destroys up to the number of monsters used for its summon. Does target, and then can attack up to the number of times. Can attack a number of times up to the number of monsters used for its summon. OTKs, and I love making people cry. Collect tears with these cards. One Guardian Chimera. As soon as this card came out, I was in love. I've gotten this off on so many people, and they just looked at me like, huh? From however many cards you use, it takes 3 monsters. Has to be from hand and field. However many monsters you use from hand, you draw that many. However many monsters you use from field, you destroy cards on the field.
Cards are ridiculous.
Amazing. I used what I call Davy Jones locker. Bahamut Shark, totally awesome. This is self-explanatory, and so was Abyss Dweller. F your graveyard effects and F prank hits.
They're dead. What do you mean?
Hey, you know, I still owe you for that. Because my baby Calamities is no longer, I had to find a replacement. RIP Calamities from like 4 formats ago. This is spot removal, non-targeting spot removal. Banishes. You detach 1, and it takes. I use 2 Cruel Wills. You banish, and you can either banish either 1 from hand, 1 from field, 1 from the top of your opponent's deck, or 1 from graveyard. So it gets rid of problem monsters without any real issues. And then lastly, for the Scythe, the Dagda.
Yeah.
Plain simple.
Now your side deck.
Side deck. 2 Drone Lock. I'm still debating on this. Kind of self-explanatory. F your hand advantage. These Ghost Ogres are actually supposed to be spooky dogwood, especially now, since we now have Masquerade in the form of Gonorrhea Incarnate. I'm sorry, I can't keep my composure. Lancia, F Tri Brigade, Godarla, F Barrier Statue, Nibiru, you're gonna pay a toll if you do more than 5 summons or 5 summons or more. Duster, Dark Ruler, and then Royal Decree, because I have a altar guys over at my locals. Shout out Eric Burgos. And that's about it. That's pretty much.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Well, would you like to say anything before we go?
Shout out to Eric for finally stop ducking me.
Oh no.
Shout out Top Deck Scrubs. Like I said before, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I know y'all probably tired of hearing my voice and seeing my ugly face, so I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Peace.
Thank you.